That was Dangsha's Closer. Very, very good stuff. But yeah, more Alan Wake. Because I feel like it. Hooray! Really like how this here changed.
Previously on Alan Wake. Under the influence of the Dark Presence, I wrote a horror story that is coming true. Jagger had been my editor, making sure that the unfolding story would make her more and more powerful. Some part of me had been aware enough to write my escape into the story.
Together we can create something absolutely wonderful.
The lake, it does something to the works of art created here. It makes them come true. My mom gave me this old light switch.
The clicker.
Alice is being kept in a dark prison. I need to find Cynthia Weaver to fix this.
Your fault, and you're gonna pay for it.
The clicker.
Well, we're expecting a record crowd from the neighboring counties. Naturally, we hope to break the record set by last year's Moose Fest in our neighboring town, Walkery. Ladies and gentlemen, some people have asked me, what's the big deal about Deer Fest? And I think that this sums it up. It's about friendship and community. We've got a great party coming up, but let's try to hold it in until tomorrow and get through the night in one piece, all right?
Thanks for that, Dark.
I have it. Someone will come for it when the time is right. Thomas said so. He wrote it. The key is insurance. It's my job to keep it safe. Safe in the light. Always in the light. Hello.
All the manuscript pages were gone. The FBI agent had taken them.
I think my tongue just took a crap in my mouth. Ugh. Oh, wait, we're in jail now? Ow. Ow, this is not good.
That about sums it up.
Please don't barf.
Oh, I am never drinking again.
I need to talk to Weaver. She's the one in the song. The Lady of the Light.
What, the crazy lady? Ugh, whatever you say, Al, but we're stuck here. They're not gonna...
interview Wake.
I had some reading to do first, Sheriff, and let me tell you, it was an interesting read. Well, I've got you now, Raymond Chandler. It's all here.
Wake, what's wrong?
Lady, are you stupid? It's a trick. It's an obvious trick.
Okay, I've had enough of this crap. Wake, I'm gonna trust you with this.
You're joking.
Agent Nightingale, your opinion would matter more if you were sober and if I actually believed you were here on official business.
Whoa! Get back in the cell, Stephen King. The only way you're leaving this place is over my dead... Wait a minute. I know this...
Oh, there he goes.
Oh my god!
Light. We need light. It's the only way to fight this thing.
In my office. I've got your things there. Follow me.
Oh, man! We're sitting ducks with the lights out!
Stay cool. I can get the emergency power on.
We like to keep things a little vague because once you start explaining things in great detail, you kind of lose a lot of the magic. That said, I think it's very clear to everybody by now that Bright Falls is a very weird place, and it's not just about Cauldron Lake and what dwells within. Sarah Breaker is the sheriff here, and given the nature of Bright Falls, she has a fairly difficult job. Once you're the sheriff here, you're not just writing parking tickets. You're actually responsible for the entire community, and that's why her view of this whole thing is a little different than Wake's, because you could say that Wake's goal is a little bit selfish because it's all about his wife and his marriage, and Sarah is a little bit more community-minded because she's really fighting to save Bright Falls from this threat.
Here are your things. Wake, what do I need to know? What do you need from me?
They can be hurt in the light, only in the light. And I need to find Cynthia Weaver. She can help me stop this.
Light. Check. Cynthia. She lives in the old decommissioned power plant. I can get you there pretty quickly in the rescue chopper. Come on, let's get back to your friend.
She's so nice. I hope nothing bad
Wheeler,
happens to
I
her.
need you to stay here.
What? No!
We're going to fetch our ride, but I have friends who need to be warned about this, and I can't be in two places at once. I need your help.
Well, okay.
Here's a list of people and phone numbers. I need you to call them and tell them you have a message from me. Night Springs, okay? They'll know what to do.
Night Springs? Like the TV show? Gotcha. Oh, hey, that radio guy is on the list. Maine. Who's Frank Breaker? He related to you?
My dad.
Hey, is this like a secret society?
Can you do this? You'll be safe here. The backup power's on. These guys need to be alerted, just in case we don't come back.
You'll come back for me though, right?
As soon as we get the chopper ready. Thanks, Wheeler. I owe you one. Okay, let's go, Wake. Through the back.
My hangover wants a pizza. You think there's any way I could order one, Al?
Not right now, anyway.
Hello, Mr. Breaker. This is Barry Wheeler. Yeah, I know it's late, but
Oh, hell. Whatever took Nightingale must have broken the gate controls. We can't reach the gate's control box from here. We need to get to the other side over the rooftop.
I'll go. I'll open the gate for you once I'm across. You stay here in the light and cover me, Sheriff, okay?
The town of Bright Falls is a sleepy, idyllic small town, the type that's familiar from much of popular culture, where little happens and time almost seems to stand still. The heaviest influences for this location were the town of Snoqualmie, where they shot Twin Peaks, and also the town of Roslyn, the location for Northern Exposure. If you've seen these shows or visited similar locations, you might recognize the dreamlike, almost peaceful ambience that they often seem to have. It's as if time is reluctant to move on, sort of clinging back to the glory days when the town was born, where industries like mining and logging were booming. It is genuine Americana, and I think we have captured it quite well.
Just cleaning up a bit. Yep. You got it, Dark. That's pretty much how it goes. It's like kind of tough though because they're moving and all that. Move pretty fast. But I use the flare to keep them from getting
Night
closer.
Springs? What's that all about?
It's a stupid joke we have. That Bright Falls is the original inspiration for the TV show. This town can get weird at times. Never this weird, though.
Oh, that was an autocorrect? You meant fleshlight.
Hey, wait! The gate! Remember? You have to open it for me!
I couldn't leave without the sheriff. She was my ticket to Weaver.
What am I, an electrician? Hold on!
Ow, man! That's smart.
Good job, Wade. Okay, stick close. Our first stop is the town hall. The keys to the chopper are there. You don't.
I know, right? Good thing this is an old game.
Look out! Over here, Wade! The chopper's in the other direction!
Oh boy. Oh, an error. Oh, can't go in there. Or here. But yeah, no, I'm pretty much enjoying this. Might get through try to get through like half, maybe, perhaps. Oh, there's something back there, and I know I'm gonna have to fight to get it. What'd I tell you? Oh, hey, I can put the lime in the coconut.
I'm gonna want explanations, you know. For example, what the hell happened to Rose? She's seriously messed up now.
The same thing I think happened to me after I arrived.
During this week, you can't remember?
Oh, I remember now. was in his element, making calls, making things happen, even if he didn't entirely know what those things were. He wouldn't let the hot sheriff chick down. Even if every noise he heard from outside, and he heard plenty, made him jump. He had only paused to text Al a message, told him to hurry up. Suddenly, Barry froze in mid-dial. A window broke somewhere in the building, and then the lights went out.
No! Oh, I should read the Nightingale thing.
Nightingale tried to make sense of the manuscript. It was disjointed and strange. He didn't understand half of it, but it all rang true. Impossibly true. He took out his hip flask when he reached the page that described how he reached the page that made him take out his hip flask. It wasn't the booze that made his mind reel. Nightingale felt the situation veering out of his control, but the gun at least felt steady in his hands. He was ready to fire, resolved that he would let this happen over his dead body. And yet he hesitated. He had seen this moment before, read it in the page. He was transfixed by the déjà vu and the horror that he was a character in a story someone had written. Then the monstrous presence burst in behind him and dragged him into the night.
Oh, well, that's no good.
Bright Falls was a very, very challenging location to really develop, to get all the paths and all the branches of the journey to feel natural. The town was designed and built quite a bit earlier than we actually settled upon the final storyline twists and the specifics what actually happened there. This meant we had a lot of problem solving to do when we actually got to decide where Alan Wake and Sarah go to. For example, this branch, this harborside building that you're now just been going past, was something we incorporated very late in the process when we noticed that having the whole harbor street available for combat just didn't work that well as we expected for combat, pacing, and technology.
You have the right.
That sucked.
Wait, over here! There's light! I have a key. Watch my back, Wait.
It's an ambush.
I see coffee over there, though. Ooh, we made it.
Okay, someone's messed with the fuse box here, but you should be able to jury rig it while I find the keys.
I already got electrocuted once today. How about I look for the keys and you get burned for a change?
The darkness that wore Barbara Jagger's face was furious. The story in the manuscript had been making it stronger all the time, but now the light had set the writer free and hurt it, weakened it. It was only a matter of days before the dark presence would be strong again, but meanwhile, it would be difficult to recapture the writer. The message was from Barry. He was getting worried at the station. He wanted us to hurry.
Okay, Sheriff, I got the keys.
Uh-oh.
Barry?
Why isn't he inside?
Oh god! Oh god!
Barry! Look out! Barry, move! Barry!
He made it inside, Wake. He's okay. The storefront's blocked. Come on, Wake. Let's go around. We can meet him in the back.
The plaque says, it's not recorded when Bright Falls was first formed as a nameless trading post, but it became a town when the Bright Falls Mining Company started to operate nearby in 1878. It was then that Hubert Biltmore, a fur trapper, and Amos Gunderson, a pioneer from Tacoma, decided to build a post office, saloon, and hotel, all operating from the same building. It was through the efforts of these two men that Bright Falls became the permanent and thriving town it is today. Sure. Well, damn. No, I think I'm doing pretty good.
We can make it through the bookstore. Wheeler should be waiting for us in the backyard.
Keep the hell down or I'll call the sheriff!
Oh, hi, Doc. I've got it. Don't worry about it.
Sarah, about time somebody showed up. All this shooting in the air is idiotic. One of these days they'll kill somebody. And over Deerfest.
I know. Go back to bed. He's got a point, Wade. Look, this town can't take this.
It's me they want. The sooner I get out of here, the sooner you can all get back to life as usual.
I hope you're right. Come on, let me get this door open.
Wait, you got the keys to the bookstore?
Perks of being the sheriff. A girl needs to get around.
Oh, this is nice.
They're really taking advantage of your presence here, Wake. I heard they're selling a lot of your Alex Casey books.
Right now, I'm not a big fan
Hey,
of my
Julius.
own
Yeah,
writing.
more video game.
Cynthia Weaver worked hard, following her obsessive rituals, sometimes fighting them, always giving in to them in the end. She haunted the halls of Bright Falls' abandoned power plant. She marked her caches with light-sensitive paint that could only be seen by eyes that had been touched by darkness and saved by light like she'd been. She was preparing defenses and supply lines for the war she knew would come. The war between the forces of light and darkness. I don't see Barry.
Uh-oh.
Wake, maybe that's him.
SpaghettiOs.
That's the way to the chopper.
Even though for a town Bright Falls is quite small, As a gameplay location, it is huge. There are many buildings, and many of them have interiors, or had them at some point when earlier story revisions so required. As many large gameplay locations, it has been through countless of revisions and iterations, and unfortunately not all the cool stuff that there once was survived. If you think about that simply in terms of time lost making something that eventually didn't make it in the game, well, it's simply a lot of wasted hours. But actually, all those changes simply served to make it richer and more varied. It's the same way that real towns actually acquire their appearance. You could say that the process has actually given it a small history of its own.
That's really cool. They worked really hard on this game, I can tell. Ah, church events.
I'm gonna give Pastor Howard a piece of my mind about this lock. Ugh, I told him to get it fixed.
Here they come.
Let's take a break.
No, no breaks. Ah, fuck!
I'm gonna give Pastor Howard a piece of my mind about this lock. Ugh, I told him to get it fixed.
Here they come.
Yeah, the health-conscious darkness. Woo! I did it. What do you think of Alan Wake so far, Dark?
Okay, it's open. Let's go, Wake.
Wow.
We keep them lit all night long on the night before Deerfest.
Why?
Well, it's tradition.
For it to be free, the Dark Presence needed the writer to finish the story. Again and again, the story let it get frustratingly close to the writer without letting it capture him. It was bound by the events depicted in the manuscript, but it could pursue the writer indirectly, put others on the task, and stop those who would help him. It took over everything in its path, made them its puppets, and sent them after Alan Wake.
We're almost there. We'll have to go through the basement to get to the parking lot.
Yeah, there's no way going through the crypt will turn out to be a bad idea.
Oh, it's great. And then there's some manuscript pages you can't find until you play it in the hardest mode, the nightmare mode, which is like you can't access that mode until you beat the game. Oh shit.
Guess that one saw the light, huh? You didn't like that one? A tough audience. Well, I got plenty more.
What are the Christmas lights for?
Protection, man. Like garlic against vampires.
Vampires.
The helicopter's just across the parking lot and up the hill. Come on!
Ah yes, Julius's curse of painful everything has been lifted. I'm so glad. I know I sound sarcastic, but I'm actually very happy for you, Julius. It's been like what, a couple weeks now that you've been dealing with that pain. Glad you're doing all right now.
The Bright Falls General Store is now my favorite place in the entire world. See this headlamp? It's like a superpower. I can just look at one of those things and they die. It's my flaming eye.
The fire station on the hill, on the hillside, was actually fairly late arrival to the city, the last building that was built. When we settled upon the how the journey ends with the helicopter, when we found a good location for the helicopter, it basically meant that we need to find an iconic building to go with it. The hillside was the best spot for the helipad, and when that was decided, everything kind of like locked into place. The fire station looked great, and the fire station yard just kind of like worked perfectly for the fight layout.
When someone throws a damn school bus at your head and you're about to take a helicopter ride with someone who may or may not have a pilot's license or clear for departure to Red Springs.
Yay, no more pain. Ooh, I shot that guy in the butt.
Oh, I'm never gonna get used to this.
Ah, here we go. Oh, what the fuck?
Just get me to Weaver, Sheriff.
You're taking a big chance on a local crazy lady, Al. I hope you're right about her, or we can kiss this town goodbye.
I hope you know how to deal with this, Wake. I guess you New Yorkers are used to rough situations like this.
Right. The city's a war zone. King Kong, mutant alligators, and Alex Casey shoots the place up every weekend. Look, I never even carried a gun until a couple of days ago.
Well, my dad used to be a cop there. Tells some pretty wild stories.
Stuff like this?
No, just normal bad stuff. Kinda like your books, Wake. I used to tease Dad that he was just like Alex Casey.
You've read me.
Oh, sure. You're a pretty good writer. A little heavy on the metaphors, maybe.
Nobody's ever said that before.
We're coming up on the power plant. See the lit building over there? And that's the dam further up the river. I can't land here. I'll take her down the road across the river.
Just get me there, Sheriff.
This warehouse is filled with gas bottles. They can be used to dispose enemies without using the flashlight at all. Just shoot the bottles so that they explode. But be careful that you don't get hurt by yourself. The same thing applies to the transformer yard which comes after the warehouse. They can use booster bullets to force enemies into electric cables.
Oh, I was so close.
This warehouse is filled with gas bottles.
Alright, let's
they
try
can
that
be
again.
used to
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Fuck. Well. Oh, thank you for the head pats, Julius.
You think you're the drink, bitch? You're not even the cup!
Much better.
This warehouse is filled with gas bottles. They can be used to dispose enemies without using the flashlight at all. Just shoot the bottles so that they explode. But be careful
Baba
that you
Booey.
don't get hurt by yourself. The same thing applies
Baba
to the
Booey.
transformer yard which comes after the warehouse. They can use booster bullets to force enemies into electric cables.
And here's a new song from a band that they always remind me of our local rock legends, the Old Gods. I couldn't tell you why. I guess it's just, yeah, one of those things. Anyway, here's Poets of the Fall and their latest single, War.
Are you fucking kidding me? You know what? That's fine. I get to hear the song again. Yeah, that song fucking slaps.
And here's a new song from a band that couldn't tell you why. I guess it's just
I'm just gonna try to make a mad dash for it. I am not having any good luck. I might be tired. Maybe that's why, but whatever.
And here's
I'll keep
a new song
trying.
from a band that they always remind me of our local rock legends. I guess it's just
Forgot I had flares.
And here's a new song from a band that they always remind me of.
And yet again, I forget I have flares because I'm busy shooting the fucking canisters. Alright, great.
And here's a new song from a band that's anyway, here's Poets of the Fall and their latest single, War.
Much better.
The power plant glowed in the night. It was close, but I had to find a way across.
I'm gonna hate this, aren't I?
Cynthia was angry at the writer. Foolish young man, taking unnecessary risks. And the way he broke the rules. Didn't he understand what was at stake? Since the terrible days in the 70s, she hadn't wavered once, as hard as it had been. She was tired of protecting the town all these long years, and now only wanted to rest. Alice had screamed until she had no voice left to scream. Around her, the darkness was alive. It was cold and wet and malevolent and without end. She was a prisoner, trapped in the dark place. The terror would have burned her mind out, but one thing made her hang on. She could sense Alan in the dark. She could hear him. She could see the words he was writing as flickering shadows. He sensed her too. He was trying to work his way to her. The story I had written in the cabin had come true. Touched by the dark presence, I had written a horror story, but the end was still missing. The story was incomplete, and the last unfinished page of the manuscript still sat in the typewriter in the cabin study. If I could get back there, if I could read the page, then I could write my own ending to this story and save Alice.
This area is all about electricity. We're actually in a huge dam complex right now. What we're seeing across the river is the power station. The actual dam is higher up in the mountains, and right now we are in the transformer yard area. Pacific Northwest is filled with places like these power stations, and we just had to have one in the game.
Yeah, and since you do need power to keep the lights on, it's kind of fitting that this actually a very important part of the story.
But it's a little odd, don't you think, for an old lady like Weaver to just manage this whole complex by herself?
Oh, hell no. That's how they roll in Bright Falls. But it doesn't hurt that it's also a visually stunning location.
Yeah, you can really see far from the top, and that's an excellent opportunity for us to flex the engine and show what it can do.
I love the love and care that these people put into the game. Like, hail to the devs, baby. Oh, I'm waiting for this thing. Oh.
absence of creativity.
Oh, Martha, what did you want to show me?
Lydia, thank God you're here. Please, it's in the basement.
Oh, that's amazing.
Isn't it just? I found it here this morning.
It's like it isn't there, but oh,
I can't look straight at it.
Yes, I'm sorry.
How did you get here?
Well, I'm trying to work.
Did you put this thing here?
To be more precise, I put everything here but that.
really? But what is it?
I guess the temptation is to call it whole, but it's really an absence, a profound lack of reality.
In Martha's basement?
Yes, I was doing so well, too. I came up with 2 old ladies and put something really weird in the basement. It was a great start. I'm completely locked now. I can't imagine what I was up to.
Well, surely it's just a basement.
Is it? Why did you call your friend here, then?
I don't know.
Oh, well.
Couldn't you just ignore it?
Oh, no, I couldn't do that. It would probably turn into a plot hole.
A plot hole.
Already could sink the whole enterprise.
Oh my.
Listen, ladies, not to be rude, but I'm really not at all sure where I'm going with this, and you're just not helping. You should just go back upstairs for a cup of coffee while I try to figure out what I'm up to.
If you think that's best.
Maybe I should just stop here. Or is that too moronic?
Is that too moronic? Indeed. Who can tell? It's a fine line between the stupid and the sublime. Life's springs.
Well, that was fun. A nice little break from all the running around. we go.
I recognized the logo on the power plant sign. I'd seen a version of it painted all over the area, signifying hidden caches of supplies.
We made it.
Hold it right there! Miss Weaver! Cynthia! I'm a friend!
Prove it!
You knew Zane! Thomas Zane! You're the Lady of the Light in the song! You can help me!
About time! Young man, I've been waiting a very long time for you.
Oh, we finally made it.
It's in the
Phew.
well-lit room.
This whole thing's well lit.
What you need to drive the darkness back. The well-lit room is at the dam. I built the room to keep it safe.
Will it help me find Alice? Will it get me back to the cabin? Fine, let's go. I can get my friends to come back with the helicopter.
Oh, we won't go outside. Never at night. That's rule number 1. You've been breaking the rules, young man, and where has that gotten us, I have a secret route, a lit route, an old water pipe. Something was damaged at the transformer yard. It's draining all the reserve power. Without it, the pipe will go dark. The power to the yard must be cut.
Let me guess. You want me to do it?
Young man, you're the one who likes to break the rules. I can't be outside in the dark. The kill switch is outside.
Okay. Yep. Whoa, lights. Okay. Let's go.
Another example of gameplay growing from fairly small designs was this journey to cut the power to transformer yard. We had just a bare minimum bonus version in place for a while. Way goes outside the power plant, flicks a switch, done. But obviously, after a few months of iterating, trying all the cool things, we noticed that, well, of course it works better when we have this combat build up and the...
Ow.
Another example of gameplay growing from fairly small designs was this journey to cut the power to transformer yard. We had just a bare minimum bonus version in place for a while. Way goes outside the power plant, flicks a switch, done. But obviously, after a few months of iterating, trying all the cool things, we noticed that, well, of course it works better when we have this combat build up and the fairly simple but hopefully enjoyable puzzle in the end.
I hoped Weaver was dependable. I'd stumbled into this crazy world a little over a week ago. She had been living this insanity for decades.
Oh,
could
that
see
must
the
be
kill
it.
switch that would cut the power to the transformer yard. Now I had to find a way to reach it.
Oh, it's one of those puzzles. Okay, let's see. There we go.
Who designs these things?
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
The transformer yard went dark and dead. Weaver's water pipe passage should now be good to go.
This way, young man. Follow me. Come, come. The pipe's empty now. We're ready to go. This way. We need to go. I knew them both, Tom and Barbara. I had such a crush on him. Such a beautiful man. I was jealous. There was a part of me that was maybe a little glad when she had the accident. And then Tom started writing and woke the darkness up. He tried to bring her back, but you can't do that. There are no free rides like that.
I'm starting to realize that.
In that case, young man, perhaps you're a smarter man than Tom was. The witch looked like her, but it wasn't. Barbara was sweet. He didn't understand until it was too late. He tried to undo it, wrote himself, her, everything he'd ever written out of the world. Oh, he was so famous. And afterward, no one knew. Oh, Tom. He left only one thing behind in my care, in case it happened again. Insurance. He trusted me. Or perhaps used me a little. Tom knew how I felt. Knew I wouldn't refuse him. I built the well-lit room and put it there. It's been waiting for you. We are characters trapped in a story you have written, and none of us will survive to see the end. If the darkness isn't stopped, she'll twist the story to her own dark ends.
How do you know all this?
Tom, that's the way he wrote it. He still talks to me, in television, from beyond, from below. We have both been touched by the darkness, young man. He saved us both with light, but the darkness stays with you. Leaves a stain. This pipe will take us directly to the well-lit room.
Okay, I need to call my friends, tell them where we're going.
Hello? Al!
Barry, we're headed to the dam in one of the pipes. Meet us there.
Okay, I'll tell Sarah.
It's Sarah now?
Whoa! No! For the sweet love of...
Barry!
Oh shit.
Barry! We gotta go see if they're okay.
They're probably dead. You must reach the well-lit room. This is no time to be a selfish idiot.
That's my best friend.
Well, be a fool. I'll use the pipe. I'll meet you at the dam if you make it.
At least I didn't have to worry about her. She knew how to stay safe.
Cynthia Weaver, like Wake, has been touched by the dark presence, and like Wake, she sees things that other people can't. She's the one who's been helping Wake, she's been leaving the supplies for him, she's been painting the weird messages on the walls, the ones that are revealed by light, and the thing is that nobody else can actually see them, only the people who have been touched like this. To everybody else it seems like she's just, painting with imaginary paint on the walls, but it is actually real. It's a kind of a mystical thing. Cynthia knows a lot about fighting the Taken and the Dark Presence, but she's really not a warrior. She's too crippled for that by her encounter with the strangeness that sort of permeates the area. When she refuses to follow Wake into the darkness and rescue Barry, she's not being petulant about it, she's just physically unable to enter these areas of uncontrolled darkness. You'd have to drag her there, and if you did, she'd try to kill you. But, let's put that in perspective because, she's guarding a secret she doesn't really understand anything about because a man on her TV screen told her that she has to, and she never really had any choice about it. So, it's not easy for her either, but, all things considered, I think she does okay.
Sarah!
The crash site looked bad, but as far as I could tell, the wreck was empty.
had to make an entrance, Wake. We were ready to make like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
I have a different ending in mind.
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
I knew you'd be alright.
How's that?
The Flaming Eye of Mordor?
Laugh it up, funny man. Can we have somewhere to go?
Weaver will meet us at the dam.
That was really close.
Most of your night running uphill while the crazy bunch of demon hicks try to take your head off with an axe. You know your helicopter crash landed in Night Springs. Woo! Oh man, lead the way, Al. Try not to get us killed.
You see those lights? That's the elevator we need to take.
What the hell is that thing? It's everywhere! Oh crap, there's more than one of them!
Nothing moves like that. It's impossible. He's too fast. I can't get a shot.
There! No, there! Al, they're all over the place!
How many of them are there? Where'd that one go?
What's happening?
Watch out! He ducked into cover.
Was that it? Are we safe?
That was... wow. I think we're okay.
Hey, Al, I got a bad feeling.
Let's keep our eyes open.
Can we just stay here until morning, Al? Please?
Wake, call the elevator. I'm keeping watch.
I think I hear something moving around.
Heads up! Here they come!
Here we go.
Oh no! Oh no!
They're coming! We have to hold them off!
Oh no! Oh no! I swear this is the slowest elevator in the world!
It's almost here, Wake. Just hold on. Shooting! No, you don't.
Al, hit the button.
We're almost there. There's an entrance into the dam at the top. What's the plan, Wake?
Well, Weaver's crazy, but she's got something Zane left behind. Something to fix this.
Gee, could you be a little more vague?
Thomas Zane? Seriously? Might as well be Paul Bunyan or Bigfoot.
Yeah, well, he was real.
God, I love the frosting tools. That shit's so fucking funny.
Let's be careful, okay?
Oh, jeez, I hate this.
Okay, Wake. There's a button over there that opens the door. I think something's broken. Hold the button down so we can get in.
Oh, I gotta hold it. Why, yes, of course it's going to break. Oh, shit.
You guys go ahead and find Weaver. She should be in the dam now. I'll have to make it a load through the top.
Good luck. Don't get yourself killed. Please be careful. I'll take good care of Barry, baby. You just look after yourself.
Oh no. Oh shit.
You gotta be kidding me.
Down, boy.
The manuscript. I missed it. I knew I missed something.
Thomas Zane knew he had to remove. Sarah was almost starting to relax. Maybe they could turn this into a win yet. Suddenly, there was a piercing sound, like a table saw gone wild, as 100 birds made out of shadows swarmed into the rotor. The chopper bucked wildly and the board lit up, telling her what she already knew. They were going down. Barry Wheeler screamed next to her. Thomas Zane knew he had to remove all that had made this horror possible, including himself. That was the only way to banish the dark presence he had unleashed and now looked at him through the eyes of his dead love. But he also knew that despite his best efforts, it might someday return. So even as he wrote himself and his work out of existence, he added a loophole as insurance, an exception to the rule. Anything of his stored in a shoebox would remain.
Even when it looks like this whole game looks pretty good.
The tornado is one of the few enemies that has stayed pretty much the same throughout the whole project. Of course, it's not a real tornado, but a manifestation of the dark presence. One of the challenges was to create a look for it that the player really wants to turn away and run. We spent plenty of time designing the visual looks and audio so that this is conveyed in the best possible way. tornado is one of the few enemies that has stayed pretty much the same throughout the whole project. Of course, it's not a real tornado, but a manifestation of the dark presence. One of the challenges was to create a look for it that the player really wants to turn away and run. We spent plenty of time designing the visual looks and audio so that this is conveyed in the best possible way. The tornado is one of the few enemies that has stayed pretty much the same throughout the whole project. Of course, it's not a real tornado, but a manifestation of the dark presence. One of the challenges was to create a look for it that the player really wants to turn away and run. We spent plenty of time designing the visual looks and audio so that this is conveyed in the best possible way.
Oh, I knew there were flashbangs in there. I'm gonna have to go get them.
The tornado is one of the few enemies that has stayed pretty much the same throughout the whole project. Of course, it's not a real tornado, but a manifestation of the dark presence. One of the challenges was to create a look for it that the player really wants to turn away and run. We spent plenty of time designing the visual looks and audio so that this is conveyed in the best possible way.
Oh boy. There I go. stop running now.
You made it. Well done. Glad I was wrong. It was a foolish chance to take. Don't worry about the noise. We're safe here. I have looked after the well-lit room for many, many years now. There is no shadow in the well-lit room. The power is fail-safe, and all the bulbs are numbered and changed regularly based on their make and model.
Right.
There's an old army base at Raincoat Point, north of here. It was active during the Second World War. They operated here back then. They must have built this.
Yes, they did. It's my place now. Take it, and I won't need to worry about the room anymore, because 6 and 33 and 118 need changing soon, and I don't want to climb up the ladder to change them because it's very late, and I'm tired. And if you take it, I won't have to do that anymore.
The page was autobiographical, a memory from my childhood. But I didn't write this. It was a page written by Thomas Zane. None of them were supposed to exist anymore.
Alan, 7 years old, would fight sleep to the bitter end. When he did sleep, he soon woke up, screaming, the nightmares fresh in his mind. One evening, his mother, sitting by his bed, offered him an old light switch. She called it the clicker, and flicking the switch would turn on a magical light that would drive the beast away. To imbue the talisman with all possible power, she added that it had been given to her by Alan's father. Alan never knew him, and anything of his took on mythical proportions in his mind. With the clicker firmly in his hand, Alan finally slept like a baby. Now, almost 30 years later, Alan thought of this as he stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, the clicker in his hand. He took a deep breath and jumped.
My mind swirled. I'd given the clicker to Alice, yet it was here. Zane had written it into existence, in a story I had written. I can get to her now. I can finish this.
Man, that's good. That's really good stuff. And that's the end of episode 5. Yeah, I'm gonna let the song play for a bit because it's really good.
Previously.
And look, it's changed again. Alright, well, I'd go and play more, but I've got some resting to do. I've got some chores to do. Gotta clean up my room, gotta clean up my closet, gotta help out my mom, and just generally hang with people afterwards. Yeah, once again, you can find these videos on YouTube, and I will be uploading this one in about a couple days. Alright, I'm gonna put on some music for you. Just a little bit of music, and then, yeah, I'll be done for today. Thank you very much for joining me. This is Blankenberge's Forget.